Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Anna, I'm a third year psychology student and today's video is a Psychology Wednesday. And this Psychology Wednesday is on the anchoring effect. You may have heard of it, you may have not. If you haven't, I hope you learned something new. So the anchoring effect. This was created by, I'm sorry, I can't say the name, I don't know how to say this name, but it's Tversky and Kahneman. I don't know if I'm saying it right, I apologise. I always feel bad for saying names wrong, so if I have said that name wrong, I'm sorry. This is a tendency for people to heavily rely on the first piece of information that they hear about anything, really. And this often has an effect on how we make decisions, or how we make judgments or judging things and people. Anchor is the first piece of information we hear. So the first information, the first thing we hear about something, we use that as an anchor. We use that as a reference or something to compare something to later on when we hear more information, or we have to make a decision, or we have to make a judgment. The problem here is people rely on that information that they hear. So an example is at university, you have to take a class and you hear something bad about the professor or person teaching that class, and so that's the anchor, the information that you heard. Then you maybe look for more information and you hear kind of more positive information or maybe some more negative, so you use that anchor to make your judgment. So you may ignore the positive that you heard because you will be thinking back to your anchor. You may not even be aware of this. I heard this, so therefore I'm gonna hate this class, for example. Or another example is you see a dress that costs £1,200, let's say, and maybe you see the same dress or a similar dress for 200, and then you think, oh, that dress must be less expensive. Maybe it's not that good because they're like the same, but the first one I saw is more expensive, so you cling to that information. Whereas if you saw the dress as £200 and then saw a dress that's more expensive, you would think that's too much for the dress, I'll get the first dress. This plays a role in decision making, and what comes to mind is when people are looking to buy a house or kind of buy anything like a car. Let's say you're looking for a car and you go to two places. One place says the car is, I don't know, prices of cars, let's say 50,000, but the second place says the car is for 40,000. So of course you would prefer to choose the option that's less expensive, but you may think, oh, maybe there's something wrong with that car. Why is it for 40,000, not 50,000? That kind of information sticks with you, so you're always kind of just comparing it and thinking, and like it influences your thinking. It happens a lot when you're shopping. So those are just a couple of examples, and there could be so many other examples of this. Could be some information you hear about a person and then you make a judgment on them straight away based on that information that you hear, and then you kind of ignore the other information that you hear and you just stick with your first impression that you kind of got from hearing something negative about them from someone else, let's say. And now, how can this be overcome? Because it can really have an impact on people if they stick to this. Be aware of it. Be aware that the first piece of information you hear may not be 100% accurate, and I guess this applies to literally everything and anything in life. If you are making a decision, then be aware of this and maybe just don't make a decision based on the first thing that you hear, and just wait and learn more and find out more information. Have your own anchor, so do your own research. Compare, let's say, prices of something. Like, for example, if it comes to a car, do your research and create kind of an idea that you have of what's a good price for this. Next time, like if you're going to buy a car, then you can have your own opinion and say your own, like, what you think the price is, like negotiate the price. You can make a suggestion next time, and then therefore you're avoiding the anchor, the first thing that you may hear. And that would be all. I don't know if I explained this very well. It's a thing that happens a lot of the time. We're not aware of it. Only later on maybe we become aware. That's why it's an interesting little fact about decision making, I guess. I hope you learned something new, and I hope that you can use this, I guess, be aware of this when you're making your own decisions. And if you have any more topics that you would like to hear about this, similar to this, then let me know, and I will see you in my next Psychology Wednesday.